Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Hedera Hashgraph, or Hbar, if you will. We are actually going to jump into it and pretty much talk about why Hedera Hashgraph is very, very bullish. Now, in regards to that, there's a lot of things to actually talk about in regards to what is the best way to see what is going to be happening with Hedera Hashgraph in the coming weeks to even months. So with that being said, let's just jump into it. Let's talk about a few things. Let's actually address the overall market right now. So we are up significantly on the global crypto market cap, up about 1.17% to $2.37 trillion. We see Bitcoin ranging at around 10% up on the 7-day span, Ethereum up almost 20%, and we do see altcoins jumping as well. We even see XRP at 24% almost, Solana up 44%, still sitting around $162. Polkadot up 28%, Chainlink, which is a partner of Hedera Hashgraph, up almost 37%, Bitcoin Cash up 22%, almost 23%, Litecoin up almost 29%. We even see Filecoin up 46% almost. So a lot of these altcoins are making fairly strong moves, including Hedera Hashgraph, who's up almost 27.2% on the 7-day span, sitting around 31, almost 32 cents. This is very significant. We've been watching this very closely as well. Hedera Hashgraph's volume has been lower. It's significantly low, around 9%. Which is nothing too crazy to really report on. The price looks fairly good. We look fairly solid overall as well. Now, in regards to this, I'm watching a lot of things closely. First off, I'm watching Bitcoin closely with the whole Michael Saylor thing tomorrow. I'm going to be watching it very, very closely to see what kind of volatile price action plays out, because that's going to be the major move. That is going to be the thing that decides on if we are in a major bull market or a little bit of a bearish settlement time. That will pretty much last a little bit of time before October to November. But overall, I still think that we are looking fairly good. I don't know if we will drop significantly tomorrow due to the whole buy, you know, like these influencers that tell you to continuously buy something. It means something is going on behind closed doors. So I don't know. I'm watching Bitcoin fairly closely here, as well as Bitcoin dominance, right? So Bitcoin dominance is showing very bearish settlements. I think that we could range lower, but if we do look here, the 50 and the 100-day MA is closing in on each other, and even if we look back here, when it did close in on each other, it did range higher, okay? And this actually happens fairly a lot, actually. You know, even here, it crossed, and then we just jumped a little bit. It wasn't too crazy. We actually crossed back here and we ranged higher. So if we do range higher here, it would make perfect sense for Bitcoin to pretty much dump on us, sadly. But I don't know. I'm watching this very, very, very closely, and I'm going to keep an eye out on it. I'm going to report on it tomorrow as well. I'm probably going to report on it throughout the week, because this is a very tell sign on what is actually going to be happening if Bitcoin does drop, because the higher the dominance, the more we drop. So it would suck, especially considering Hbar is making solid moves. Now, in regards to this, I'm also watching Ethereum dominance, as Ethereum dominance is retesting the pretty much 19% zone. Now, in regards to this, I'm also watching Ethereum itself, because we are around that $4,000 range. And I do think that if we could break out and hold above this, we could retest 4650. But the problem with this is that it's all ranging on Bitcoin, and as you guys already know, tomorrow is a very significant day with the whole Michael Saylor news. And I know I'm reading, a lot of people will say that I'm reading too much into it, but it's the idea that every single time an influencer talks about an asset, whether that be Bitcoin, Dogecoin, XRP, whatever the case may be, and they're telling you guys that they're setting up this huge, you know, masquerade where they're going to have so many people buy into it and pump it to all-time highs and pump it to this level, we always see a major sell-off. So tomorrow, I'm going to be watching for volatile price action. I think everybody should. If you have the time to, watch the charts, be careful, and do not overtrade or anything like that. Do not sell in panic. Do not sell the, you know, the emotions. Just have some fiat on the sides for a buy zone. Maybe that's where you will get your solid entry on Hbar. Because if you actually look at this chart, we are showing fairly bullish patterns, right? Look at this major breaking point, right? We got this major breakout level, and we now are printing a bull flag. And if we look back here, we printed a bull flag before the next major breaking point all the way up to the all-time high. We actually pretty much printed the same bull flag multiple times, even before a drop though as well. I'm watching this very closely because if we could actually break above 33 cents, as you guys see, it is a solid resistance point, then we could see some solid fireworks on the price chart for Hedera Hashgraph and actually break up all the way to 37 plus cents, because that is the only, like, in between this here, it's just all air. Like, this is, there's no solid resistance points. I mean, you could argue that, 35 cents is a solid resistance point, but I think that we break it very easily. Now, we have been holding strong. We are in a chop zone. We have broke 30 cents here and there, but it's nothing too crazy. Okay, and I've been saying this for a fairly long time, that Hedera Hashgraph looks very, very solid for a major breakout event. We've been consolidating for so long, and we still are, right? Until we break out of the all-time high, we are in still a very long consolidation point. We are still 174 days in consolidation. So what do you think happens when we truly break out, right? Because even right now, a lot of people are getting very excited, but realistically, I'm still not very, very excited yet. I will get excited when the all-time high is broken. But we have rose significantly. We are up about 145% almost from those current levels down here at June 22nd. And now, a lot of people are celebrating. I'm celebrating the fact that I am up that significantly because I did buy this dip. I might not have bought in the exact low. It might have been something like in between here, where I'm still up 120%. And even if you bought the low candle here, which you've had a lot of entry points here, you're still up almost 110%. Now, in regards to this, I'm also watching a lot of things because guess what? From our current level now to the current all-time high, it is still another 45% almost. Now, once we get into price discovery, a lot of people have been concerned, or they've been concerned the fact that what if we miss out on this bull run? What if we never get to the all-time high, or what if we get into price discovery and we only land around that 75 cents or something like that? I think the case for that is the fact that people are underestimating how fast an asset could actually move once in price discovery. For an example, we'll use the Bitcoin chart and we'll actually go over to ADA and we'll just analyze ADA's overall influx in FOMO, right? So here's 2020. We hit a few highs. We hit 39 cents. It was nothing too crazy, and then we finally got that breaking point to about $1. Okay, and this I'm just gonna say it right now. So the major breakout event was actually 20 cents. This is where we broke out. We actually ranged all the way to about 40 cents. So we did pretty much a 2x. Okay, and then the 2x we consolidated for a little bit. We actually retested a new high at around 42 cents. We broke out of it, and then we ranged a little higher, right? We had a 212% of a run in price. And if we actually go off of the lows from October of 2020 to even this high, this was about 100%. Off of that high to this high here, it was pretty much another 100%, but we'll just go off of the bottom candle here. So that's 66% and then 212%. So roughly over about a 400% of an increase in price. Then we had another move in the market. 50% of an increase in price. Trade it sideways for a little bit of time, okay? And then we had even more of an increase in price, which was another 57% of an increase in price. And then look at the FOMO event that just occurred, right? So it made its all-time high up here at about $2.52. We ranged all the way down to about 91 cents before we had the retest of the all-time high and broke out officially to test about $3.15, a 245% of an increase in price. Very significant, nothing to disregard. Now, overall, right, I mean, there were so many events that led up to this, right? We had Coinbase listings, all that kind of stuff, but this was a great influx of price that is on one asset, right? But let's go look at Matic, right? Because I've been comparing Matic to Hedera Hashgraph for as long as we've been holding Hbar, right? So this is actually up 26,000% almost this entire year. But what I'm more so concerned about is we made this all-time high here at 55 cents, okay? And from 55 cents, let me move down a little bit, to the all-time high up here, it was a 500% of an increase in price. Now, say for so we just do a 500% of an increase in price just from the current all-time high, which I do think that that is a fairly easy target point for us. So 500%, and I think that this would be very significant for a lot of people, because I know a lot of people are still saying, well, all right, so it's actually 427. So let's actually just go down 427. just to make sure that we have this accurately set up. So let me move this down, 427. So even at 427, we'll just go to 430. We're still sitting around $2.45. For a lot of people, that is actually fairly significant. Okay, that is life-changing money still at that target. Now, how do we get to $3 plus? How do we get to these high targets up here? Well, it's very simple. Okay, if we grasp ADA's market cap currently, we would be at these targets of $8 plus. This would be about 1,000, almost 2,000% of an increase in price. And I think a lot of people are forgetting that this is the first bull run that Hedera Hashgraph is actually in. But we have a lot of news coming out in Q4, which would obviously allow us to really break out. And we are printing a bull flag. We have consolidated for as long as we possibly can. 174 days in consolidation. We have been sideways trading, accumulating for a fairly long time. We tried to break out multiple times. There is a lot of price suppression happening with Hedera Hashgraph. And when it is truly ready, and when we have the Q4 news, we could even see major listings on CEX exchanges. And then at that point, it's endgame, right? I do think that $10 is fairly achievable. I also said that $15 is fairly achievable. And a lot of people are still wondering, well, what is the major change point to get to those levels? Well, it's simple. We just outperform every other asset in what we are already doing. And that is transactions alone, innovation alone, adoption alone, GC members, all that kind of stuff. We already know that Fortune 10 companies are backed by our name. So I think easily, when we're talking about even 25% of an increase in price from our current levels on XRP, I think that we could do 2,500% as well and get to $12. Okay? So realistically, I think that $10 is very achievable. I think $3 to $6 is fairly conservative. I think that we hit those targets fairly easily overall. I think that we will have similar runs to other altcoins. But I think that Hedera Hashgraph has been showing fairly strong signs of strength. And I think that it is only a matter of time before we get the next breakout point, because it is showing the same pattern, even going back here, except, we didn't have the, bull flag exact. It was pretty much just an upward bull flag instead of a sideways bull flag. So I still think that we will have this breakout event of roughly about, we could actually do the percentage here, 65%. 65% from our current level will actually put us well over the all-time high and get us to 51, almost 52 cents. So this is pretty much my expectations for the next major move up. And this could take a little bit of time. It doesn't have to be one straight line up or anything like that. It could just be sideways momentum upward, similar to what we did here, and we built up small, which I told you guys is fairly good. When you build sideways momentum like that, it's pretty much a foundational support level, so that when you do see a little bit of a sell-off pattern, which is this little sell-off here, it's not a hard dump, it's actually just a little bit of a drop, and we kind of just trade sideways. So with that being said, Hedera Hashgraph is showing fairly strong signs of strength. I still think $10 to $15 is achievable. 3 to 6 is fairly conservative for anybody who wants a safe exit strategy. So with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys don't want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.